Hello and welcome to the Simply Colorful FiberCast. Today's date is June 17th, 2016. My name is Lynn and I'm your host. Thanks for joining me. Today we're going to be working on a doll. It's not quilting related, but I am retrofitting a doll that another doll maker of mine had made, and she actually was giving her away. And she said, you can redo her. You can make her your own. So that's what I'm doing. So we'll see how it goes. She actually had some pants on that were made out of some pretty dyed fabric like this. And she also had on her a beautiful vest and beautiful shoes, which I really liked. But together it was just too much. So what I'm thinking of doing is I'm going to use her vest and her shoes. Well, first I'm painting her. She was all blue. So I painted her white, and I'm doing more clay on her head, and I'm not going to work on that tonight because this needs a lot more work, a lot of sanding, a lot of more clay, and that will take several weeks. But I thought tonight we could start to make her some pants, is what I thought. So that would be fun. FiberCast is just for 2.5 years now. It's 60 minutes on a Friday night, all of us getting together and working on our projects. Just amazing what we can get done in 60 minutes. So thanks for joining me. It's not a tutorial. You can see I don't do quilting all the time. I tend to go wherever I feel like, and I hope you do too. Let's see. So what I have done is I literally cut apart her pants to make a pattern because they fit beautifully. And I cut off the bottom beautiful ribbon of it. It's sparkly, and I thought I would reuse that. And I have some blue ribbon here. The theme is blue with my shirt and everything. Blue ribbon here. And I'm going to make her pants out of a lighter color, a lighter satin that I had on hand. Isn't that flashy or shiny? And it will go beautifully with the vest. And I think I'm even going to put some white underneath her vest. So she'll be a little bit more formal than maybe she was when I got her. And I titled this FiberCast Pat B's doll because Pat Bleacher is the woman who made her in 2008, in September of 2008. So I left her name on the back and the date, and then I'll put my name and date. And it'll just be fun for, who knows, maybe someone at the dump someday will find her. I didn't really say that. I didn't mean that. This is all fun. Doesn't she sits nicely? I really like her. So I'm redoing the head, and I'm going to have a lot of hair. It'll be fun. But meanwhile, let's make some pants, some pantaloons. I still have my Bernina out. You can see that. And let's see. Hopefully I have what we need. I couldn't find any. I tell you, this living out of a box thing gets old. The studio upstairs is in process. Bob continues to work on it. And I'm not holding my breath, but it will be nice once I get back up there. I'm sorry for my backdrop. That's why this very unusual looking backdrop. I usually have my quilts behind me, but because I'm here in the downstairs dining room, I just don't have any way to hang them. And I've been traveling and I've been busy, as we all are. I just got back from Austin last night. Man, was it hot down there. But it was a good trip. Good trip indeed. So as always, send me email or text me. Send me email to lmarquidant@gmail.com. Jean, if you're out there, maybe by the time our 3rd season wraps up, I'll have a better email. Like I heard someone jokingly say, are you trying to hide on the internet with an email like that? Someday I want it to be lynn@simplycolorful.com. And I have all the ingredients. I just have to figure out how to set it up. And let's see. I need a lighter thread. That's why I'm delaying here. I think what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to use this light green rather than this blue. I pulled out this dark blue, and it's too dark for these pants. So we'll do this, and I wonder what thread. Oh, of course I have black thread in the bottom. 1 second. 1 second. Just need to get a bobbin. There we go. All right, that a lighter brown is a little bit better than black. Oh, and I know I meant to do this at the very beginning. I just wanted to express my condolences for everyone down in Orlando. It's horrific, terrible, what's happening, and the fact that people can do this to other human beings. So, thinking of you, I will probably put a heart on her in recognition of Orlando. I did think some on doing some of the heart blocks that the Orlando Modern Quilt Guild has asked for. They're asking for quilts made with those heart blocks, which look great. But I decided that I didn't want to do it, and I just wanted to send along my condolences. It's just terrible. And it wasn't that I didn't want to do it because of the effort. It was more, I'd just gotten back from Austin. I had this doll sitting here that I've wanted to play with, and I frankly, I decided, I said to myself, well, you could do something that you think people might be more interested in than the doll, or you could do something that you really want to do. And I went back and I thought, well, FiberCast is really about what I'm working on in the studio, and so I decided to do it this way. And as you can hear, the band is back. And I asked them about that song that they can play, and they don't have it in their repertoire, but they're going to work on it. So that was pretty funny. Okay. So let's see. Go. I tell you, the gardens are fun about this time of year, aren't they? I so enjoy coming home from my trips and seeing what's grown. And I did give everything a big dose of water today, and I cut the grass, and I weeded a little in between conference calls. Okay, there we go. All right, so now she's threaded with a light colored thread. I'm going to put these aside. I should be able to use this maybe for another doll for smaller pants or something. So literally I'm going to put shiny sides together and sew the front and back crotch seams. And I have not used this fabric very much on the sewing machine, so I don't really know how it's going to react. It's very satiny. Shouldn't be too much of a problem. You'd be so proud of me. I haven't been to Joann's in weeks. Except for maybe last Friday, I was looking for that pink crochet. Aside from that. Okay, so far so good. Just moving along. I'm just going to move right over to the other one. Oh, you can't even see this, can you? Jeez. What are you working on tonight? It's a beautiful night. I know Sarah is down at the, oh boy, Mass Maritime. Her son is graduating from there tomorrow. So she and her husband went down to stay there overnight. So that's exciting. I tell you, graduations are for the whole family. We had such a nice time last Saturday. So we talked last Friday night, then Saturday we went over to, so see, we're starting to make pants. Sorry, I forgot to show you. Here I am jib-jabbing. Now I'm just going to sew the whole inside seam. Was very nice. Even though it rained, they had a big tent, red and white striped, and the food was delicious, lots of munchies, big old graduation cake. I loved the cake. It was huge, 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 huge. Half of it was vanilla, half was chocolate, and then they had big vats of vanilla and chocolate ice cream. Right up my alley. And we had the 3 graduates, just as a reminder. It was my niece, Bridget, and my nephews, Cam and Cooper. Our nephews, Cam and Cooper. And they're all college bound, which we're very proud of. Of course, it's easy for us to be proud of it. We're not the ones paying for it. But I think they chose wisely. It's hard to know how much to spend on college these days. I guess I'm of the opinion if someone knows definitively what they want to be or do, and there's a certain school that is known for the teaching of that thing, then make it happen. But for most of us who really, at 17 or 18, what do we really know about the world? We just need to go to our next step of learning, molding our mind. I'm not sure I would advocate going to a very expensive school, but that's just me. And everyone is different. And I have to tell you, I sure wish I could go to school again now. I was saying that to Bob. It would be so fun if he and I could become professional students again. I'd go to art school. Where would you go if you could go to school or do something different, a different vocation? What would it be? Or, the grass is always greener. I also, as fun as it is to think about this, it's kind of like, what would you do if you won the lottery? I do believe we all end up doing what we're meant to do. So maybe if it's not what you thought you'd do at 18, it all hopefully works out. I guess I do wear rose-colored glasses, though, so. Anyway. TGIF. So now I literally am folding over the top of this, and I probably could do elastic in here. I think I might do that. And then let's see. Ooh, these are going to be pretty, aren't they? Let's see if I have elastic close by. 1 second. Don't go away. Don't go anywhere. No, I bet it's in my other caddy. Oh boy. Well, you know what we can do? First off, we can do a dry run. I hope this fabric doesn't snare. I don't think it will. Or run, you know. She's made of fabric, by the way, and she's stuffed and then she's painted. So she feels kind of rough right now. And then her head is made, it's stuffed, painted, and then there's paper clay put on top. Okay, so they're still not very long, these pants, but that's okay. I think I might add on to them, though. I think I want them longer. So who's out there while I think about how to make them longer? Let's see who's out there. Hi, Jean, if you're out there. Congratulations on all of your graduation quilts. Those are amazing. Oh, and Eileen Aroon, hi. Eileen is continuing to work on her hooked rug. And she does, oh no, now she's working on her Birds of a Feather quilt. And she says she's thinking of the families in Orlando this week, from Eileen. Let's take a look. It's loading. Oh, your work is just beautiful. Wow. Eileen, do you sell your work? That is lovely. And I know everyone, it's going to be hard to see that. Again, if you want to follow Eileen, she's at Eileen Aroon, EILEENAROON. That is beautiful on Twitter. Thanks for sharing. So, I wonder if Maureen and Chris are out there. I bet they are. Maureen, Chris, where are you? Let's go see who's out there. Hey! Stephanie. Hi, Stephanie. How are you? Stephanie says, what kind of thread do you use? Well, it depends on the application. My favorite sewing thread is Aurifil for my machine. I guess all thread is sewing thread, isn't it? That was pretty funny. What I meant was when I'm piecing. My favorite piecing thread is Aurifil. And 1 second. I want to tell you the right weight that I use. GR30, so I think it's 30 weight. Anyway, I love Aurifil. It's pretty strong and it's thinner than most. That said, I do have a collection of thread that I've collected over the years, and I am trying to get rid of it. And I'm making headway. So if it's Coat and Clark's or whomever, that's fine. I'm always looking for thread that has less lint and less fraying. And you can tell that when you go to the store. You can feel it. If it has little baubles on it or you can see little wisps of thread, that's more than likely going to cause more lint than something like Aurifil. When I am machine quilting, I have liked Superior, a thicker one. So if this is 30, maybe that's, oh boy, is it like, it's either 20 or 40. That's what I like. What kind of thread do you like to use? Let us know. Aww. Oh, and here's another one from Stephanie. She says, "Hi, Lynn and all the FiberCasters. Hope all is well with everyone. She's working on breast cancer bags for friends who have breast cancer." Oh, isn't that nice? I bet that makes you feel good. That's great. For them to carry things in when they're going maybe to and from treatment? Is that the idea? That's great. Crystal, hi Crystal. Crystal says, "Hope you are well. Been very busy lately." She's had the kids' sports carnival at school yesterday, and they did so well, she says. Oh, that's great. I've added some photos of my dear Jane so far, and my log cabin laid out, ready to start putting it together. If I could just decide what the layout, decide on the layout, she says. And she says, "I look forward to watching you later on today." Oh my goodness, look at what you've done. Nice job. Look at all those. And you've all written down, I don't know if you can see in the bottom, it's a full page of the Dear Jane. Here, I can, oh, I love that, your color plan. That is a good idea to do. Oh, I love that. Very nice. You know, I like how it doesn't, it has this wavy feel to it, but it's not matchy-matchy. I like how you've put the different colors together, and greens and blues and then red and maroon. Lovely. Thanks for sending that. Carol, hi Carol. From so far away, Carol. She says, "Here's what I'm working on." First she says, "Hope you and all the FiberCasters have had a good week." We have. We hope you have too. And she says, "Last week I sent you a picture of a panel I had made from the Bonnie Hunter Scrappy Trip Around the World pattern. During the week I've made a second panel and joined them together to make a laundry bag." Oh, that's great. I totally remember that. Since taking the picture, I've threaded some black webbing. It's actually an old Holdale strap. I don't know what a Holdale strap is. One of those that you can clip off. I always save them even after the bag has been thrown away. Through the casing at the top, and I use it to catch on the back of a chair in my bedroom. The new bag looks so much better standing next to the chair in my bedroom than the worn gray one that I had been using. If it keeps on raining here as much as it has this week, I may end up getting quite a bit of quilting done this week as well. Although, when getting my daily fix of quilt time, hearing about the wonderfully hot weather there, maybe the amount of sewing and quilting that gets done is more about the person than the weather. So true. So true. So you've been watching Beth Allen. Isn't that great? If for those of you who might not have tuned in yet, check out Quilt Time on YouTube. And it's TYME because she can. And Beth Allen is just a wonderful personality, and she's down in South Carolina, and every day she records herself sewing or quilting or doing something. Little snippets. It's a wonderful piece. Well, thank you, Carol in England. Thank you so much. Oh, I love that. Here is her laundry bag. I like that. You know, I like when quilting is utilized. That's where I'm at now. Norma, hi Norma. Norma says, "Howdy, Lynn. I'm watching tonight. Oh, and I haven't sewn any today. Been kind of lazy watching Andy Griffith and Bonanza. Oh, aren't those fun? Hope you and all the FiberCasters have a great weekend." Well, I hope you enjoyed your TV, and I hope that you were cool enough and that you're not, I hope everyone in the middle of the country stays cool this week. It looks really hot, and that you're doing okay. I love to see your pictures when you go out traveling in the country. You do four-wheeling, I think. I think that's what you do. I love that. Patty, speaking of Texas, hi Patty. She says, "Hi Lynn and Fiber friends. I've been working on 2.5-inch tumblers. It's a Christmas present for my mom. Can't wait to see what you are working on today. Have a great show." Oh, thank you, Patty. Well, speaking of which, I should get back to it. There she is. All right, what are we going to do here? Let's sit her up again. All right. Well, let me turn under the edges, regardless of whether we put elastic or not. I'm going to want to turn this under 1/4 of an inch here and on the bottom. So why don't I do that? We can enjoy the music. They have a guest guitarist down there. So funny, you know, they all have day jobs. And they must go to work and talk about it. Don't we all? We all talk about our hobbies and what we like to do when we, probably around the lunch table. And then the next thing you know, they're bringing over a friend from work who plays an instrument. It's great. They've had harmonica players, they've had singers, guest singers, they've had guitarists, drummers, guest drummers. They've been doing it a long time, too. I don't know if I've ever told you about when Bob and I were first married, or maybe before we were married. We were in a very small little house. It was literally it was a cabin. Did it have heat? It had the heated stove. I don't even know if it had, I don't think it had regular heat. Anyway, it was a cabin that had a living room and a kitchen and 1 bedroom. And they would play music in the living room, and I would go sleep in the bedroom. So I literally would not be more than 10 feet from where the drums were. And do you know I could sleep right through it? Needless to say, I love that they play the music. I enjoy it, but I'm not a music aficionado. It's just not something I've ever spent time learning. And yet, we have been enjoying things like Tanglewood or any kind of music. I so appreciate it more every time I hear it. Musicals, I'd go to a play every week if I could. I really would. I love musicals. I wonder if Jean likes musicals. Jean, the jumping machine. Okay, did I show you what I did? So I did the top of that. Only on FiberCast we spend an hour, 60 minutes making a pair of doll pants. I hope you're laughing. Goes to show we do anything on this show. And I do know I'm on the hook. I have not produced. I'm behind on the bag idea. Don't know. Next Friday, I'm going to be in Sacramento, California. So, if all goes as planned, I think I'm going to do a second FiberCast this weekend. And so I won't have one next Friday night. So we'll do one more from here, from our temporary studio in Hopkinton, and then in 2 weeks we will have another one from Mom's house at the Vineyard. And that will be getting us close to the 4th of July, which I can't believe. But I'm really looking forward to it. I spent, in addition to cutting the grass today and doing a little weeding and watering, I literally went back out at around 5, and I just sat in a chair with the sun beating down on me, and I shut my eyes, and it felt so good. Okay, so now we've done the top. And then, oh, who goes there?
Hello.
Hello.
Just using the facilities.
Wonderful. Okay. So we'll do one more here. Okay. Go. The Bernina's working great on this. And I'm sorry you can't even see me sewing. This is terrible. In Austin this week, I went to a Smart Cities conference. It's one of the best conferences I've been to in a long time because we could think about the future and how technology is going to change the way we live in our cities. And it really is in its infancy. So this is, when the Jetsons get here, in real life, what's it going to look like? Will there be any cars left? In cities, will you have just like these conveyor belts of things and people around the city, and we'll just jump on and off as it goes by us and as we need it. The drones, of course, will be everywhere. And so anyway, turns out that down in the middle of the country, in Tennessee area, there are some what they call gigabit networks, and they're just big networks with big pipes that lots of data can stream back and forth through. And Chattanooga is one such city that has, as a result, has all sorts of really cool things going on. For example, when you land there, they're live streaming what's going on at their Chattanooga aquarium. And there we were in Austin, and they live streamed it to us, showing them feeding the animals. And there was no delay. You could just see it automatically. Much like what we're doing right here on FiberCast, right? It's just amazing that we can see this in real time wherever we are in the world. It's just amazing. And you multiply this by whole cities and whole groups of people that want to communicate. Another example, they had a couple of musicians, one in Chattanooga and one there in Austin, and together they were able to play and make music. That's how fast it was going through I think it was about 1,000 miles, they said, the pipes. Then they had, another example was at the University of California, they have a microscope that is just very powerful. They told us what kind of scope it was, but you could see microorganisms. And there is a STEM program in the middle of the country, science, technology, education, and math, STEM program for these high schoolers. And the high schoolers, through a big fat wire, this pipe, this network, are able to, and software on their PC in I think they're in Chattanooga also. I could be wrong about that, but I think it was. They are able to use the microscope that is out in California, and they actually can zoom in and out with their computer in their high school. And it's changed the way that they experience science. They even had one of the students come up and talk to us, and she said, "You can talk to me all day long, and I may hopefully remember some of what you tell me, but by actually being able to explore and form my own hypothesis and test it out," she said it has changed her view of science, and she is just jazzed to keep on going. So there are all sorts of different ways that cities can become smarter, and it was really a fun 3 days. MIT was there. When it was global, there were folks from Japan. Lots of focus on water and flood mitigation and electricity and sort of the infrastructure of running a city and making that smarter, like the levees. Rather than having to send out engineers to go and check the levees and the sensors on the whole levee that's hundreds of miles, they put these electronic sensors there and then feed it all into a central location, and they can monitor height of the water. I was going to say porosity, but strength of the wall or pollutants in the water. I think they were doing. They can, it's as far as your imagination can go. And then you collect all this data. And the real question for these smart cities is pretty profound questions like how do you keep that data safe and ultimately citizen safe? Who owns the data? Do each of us who are consuming electricity and there's a smart grid in our basement saying, well, you used 20 kilowatts on your dryer today, and over the course of a month you use 100 kilowatts on your dishwasher. Who owns that data? Do we own it? Does the electric company? Does a bank that they sell it to? Or, it's just all sorts of really interesting implications. And on I go. It's much more interesting than what I usually think about, which is like the plumbing of computers is computer storage. I call it the muffler of a computer, but we do a lot more than that. Okay, so I have done the top and bottoms. Maybe what I'll do is just by hand do a little drawstring. Well, I want it to be stronger. Who else is out there? Let's see who's out there. Oh, Beth Allen! Speaking of quilt time, hi Beth. Beth Allen says happy Friday to the Fibercasters. She says her Halloween quilt is coming along. All the spooks will be warm this Halloween, she says. I love how easy this quilt is, as well as having the effective grid as the secondary pattern. Ooh. She says it's the first quilt pattern that I've ever repeated, and I actually might be making 2 more. Yikes. Oh, it is good. She says lots of lake swimming and being a caregiver to my little dog. Dog is getting ready for knee surgery, so lots of cuddling him and hand stitching so I'm able to keep him quiet and calm. Happy stitching to all, Beth. Oh, that is good. Well, I do like that pattern. That is such a versatile pattern. And I like how you're using gray again. That's great. And your pumpkins. Good luck to your dog. All right. Oh, and speaking of quilt time, here's your episode, The Facet Factor. Woo! So again, if you haven't, make sure to subscribe to Quilt Time. TYME. Beth Allen. Who else is out there? Oh, Maureen's out there. She says hello. And then she says, I'm always intrigued by forensic facial reconstruction and cold case shows. Oh, you're serious? I thought you were making fun of FiberCast, that we were doing facial reconstruction. Or are you? Maureen, you're very witty. But I'm going to say that you think that's what I think I would go to school for. I think that would be really interesting. So again, Maureen in Pennsylvania is interested in forensic facial reconstruction and cold case shows. That is cool. Forensics is all the rage now, isn't it? So you must love NCIS and all of those. I'm pulling down your Google Plus to see if you said anything else. She says, I think that's what I would go to school for. Aw, awesome. Thanks for sharing that. Oh, Dawn! Hi, Dawn Stewart, author of the 300 Tips quilting book, available on Amazon. I'm so glad you're out there. I miss you. I haven't seen you in months, and it's my fault. Anyway, Dawn says she's working on the binding for her batik noodle quilt for the September Marathon Quilt Show. Fun sewing with you. Sending smiles, Dawn. Aww. Right back at ya. And that is going to be a fun quilt show in our brand new Cultural Arts Center here in the town of Hopkinton. So if anyone is around the weekend, I should know what the dates are. Is it the same weekend as Polly or it's different? Anyway, it's in September. I'll tell you all about it as the time gets closer. Speaking of which, I received my ticket to the champagne reception for the quilt show, the Plain and Fancy show up at the Vermont Quilt Festival at the end of June. And I'm sending it up to Aunt Jane. So Aunt Jane, if you're watching, it's on its way. You can go there Thursday night and have some champagne. I'm sorry I won't be there with you. I'll be in Sacramento. For anyone else who might be up in Essex Junction the end of the month, go check out the for Old Vermont Quilts. I sent my grandmother's quilt up there, so I'm kind of excited about it. Ooh, Marquet! Hi, Marquet! She says, hello, ladies and gents. Happy Friday night FiberCast to all. She says she's sewing with us while working on her purple weather vane block. Pics below are my first block, and I'm working on a purple one right now. She says she also has a blue one cut out and ready to sew. She says she'll post pics of all of them on Facebook when she gets them finished. Oh, good. I love to see them when you finish them. Did you ask the band to play Long Cool Woman in a Black Dress? I did, and they said they will work on it. In fact, we even listened to it, and I love that song. But they don't have it in the repertoire now. Marquet asks, how's your mom? She's good. She's good. I haven't talked to her in a week, at least. So, hi, Mom, if you're out there. I'll call you tomorrow or the next day. In fact, I think last I knew she was making an arrangement for their Art in Bloom show down there, where they have several artists submit a piece of artwork, usually a painting, some sculptures, but mostly paintings. And then the women in you all know what Art in Bloom is. In the Flower Club, they each pick one of the paintings, or they get assigned one, and then they create a bouquet that goes with it, or an arrangement. And she was working on that. Thanks for asking. She says, I have enjoyed the pics of the pond and the outdoors. Aw, isn't it pretty? Where is Sweet Allie tonight, and how is she doing? Aw. Sweet Allie is here. She's over by the door where it's cooler. Her hips are definitely sore every day. She still is going up the stairs once a day at night to sleep with us. She isn't hearing much, that's for sure. And I haven't seen her all week, but Bob said she was okay, and I've been spending time with her today. So she's doing okay. She's here. It's going to be sad. But like Beth Allen is doing, I do give her extra hugs, I must admit. Okay, and she doesn't seem in terrible pain. So she's doing fine. Aw, and Marquet says, I'm enjoying the music. I love that song, 2 Tickets to Paradise. That's awesome. If I could have a do-over. Okay, so here we go. So this is Marquet's do-over. She says, I would go to school to be a radiologist. Excellent choice. I think that's an excellent choice. Yep, it's technical. You'd be so good at it. Wow. Technical and yet repeatable. Very cool. Thanks for sharing that. I love to hear those things. I bet we have radiologists out there in the community. Marquet goes on to say, I see you have your Bernina out. I'm so glad you sent this note, Marquet. Thank you. And I think it's going to be a pretty doll. Thank you. Time will tell, but I will post a picture. I think she'll be good. And I'll post pictures of the other 2 Long Tall Sallys that I've completely finished. I'll do that right after the show. And she says, I hope you have a great weekend. Happy sewing, Marquet. Well, same to you, and I'm going to show everyone your beautiful blocks. Look at that. Not a seam out of place. You do beautiful work. Oh, and here's one that you've laid out. Thanks, Marquet. You're making me laugh. And I know that's not very good pod. So Marquet wrote again, and she says, hello, ladies and gents. Happy Friday. Oh, she says, oh my goodness, who was that sexy voice that just came in to use the facility? That was Wayne. Wayne is the lead singer. He is, just wait till I tell you this, he is 6'4". He's thin. He's attractive. He's built. He was a personal trainer for many years. That's Wayne. Isn't that funny? And he actually had with him a daughter of the drummer who I hadn't seen in years. And they didn't really know that we were on live. So they came out and they used the facilities. And so that's who that was. Sorry about the interruption there. He has a very sexy voice. That's awesome. Oh. Now I have to decide whether or not to tell him that, because they want to know if you all hear them. They want to know any feedback. I told them that they've gotten requests, and you saw me leave a voice message for Bob. So they're very excited, and he'll like to hear that. Anyway, Marquet continues. She says, I could not be sewing with all that manliness downstairs, playing all that good music. Oh my goodness, Give Me 3 Steps, one of my old-time favorites that we used to sing when I was in a little band while in high school. Fix you a tequila and go enjoy, she says. Oh, Marquet, that's awesome. LOL. Hopefully they'll sing another recognizable song before we go tonight. Thanks, Marquet. Oh, my goodness. Hey, KB! KB says, hi, glad to see you at home, sweet home. Yes, I'm glad to be home, sweet home. Tonight I'm catching up on laundry, so I have something clean to wear on my trip to visit Mom tomorrow. Can't wait. Oh, I forgot. I completely forgot you were going. Excellent. Sweet. I'm so glad. Can you tell? Man, I was so focused on work. Anyway, let's round out FiberCast with a little preview of what the doll's going to look like. Now, don't laugh. These are going to go in the doll. So first, we'll put the pants back on her. And they're nowhere near done. But I really need some elastic before I can go any further. That's funny. I don't think it's so amazing what we got done in 60 minutes tonight. But that's okay. It's okay. We got to connect. All right. So there are her pants on. Then we put her shoes on. These shoes are quite cool. Although they have ribbons tied all over them, so. Oh, great. I just ripped the ribbon. I may be putting them on the wrong feet. Well, you get the idea about the shoes. Then, this is what's kind of cool. So we put this vest on. Like I say, prior to this, her arms were all painted like splotchy tie-dye. And I wanted a more formal look. Or they were taking away from this beautiful vest, and I wanted the focus to be on the beauty of the vest. which I believe Pat made out of fabric. It has all sorts of sewing on it. Okay, so let me pin this down. Okay, oh, yeah, I'm liking those colors. And then, because she's looking flat-chested, yeah, that's looking pretty. So kind of imagine she'll have a white blouse underneath and she'll have a different looking face, but we got that far. So I think with that, we're gonna have to give her a name too. Maybe we'll let Pat name her. I'm so glad you all were able to join me tonight. It's amazing what we can or can't get done in 60 minutes. And let's make sure I didn't miss anyone. Oh, I love that. My sister, let's conclude, she says, good grief, the guys will be proud as peacocks when they hear their fan mail. Spoken like another band wife. So true. I may have to dribble it out. Marquet, your email was gold. Thank you. And thank you all for joining me tonight and being here for FiberCast. Once again, it's a wonderful thing that we can all get together. Have a great week. Again, we're thinking about everyone in Orlando. Our prayers and thoughts go out to everyone who is affected. And do something creative. Love people around you. Be good to them. Sounds good, didn't it? Anyway, bye, everyone.